All right, welcome to episode 11 of New York City Bike Culture. I'm excited to sit here with Henry Francisco.
Yes, sir.
Of Montecci Bikes, of Hudson Bikes. We're right next to Hudson Bikes here for the first time outside of New York City as when I'm recording. Usually myself, I'm excited to be in New Jersey today. I think this is still the New York City metro area for sure. This is definitely part of the New York City bike community. As a matter of fact, you can see the George Washington Bridge right there, or we can see it. This is like when you make a first right turn, you're kind of in a little bit of a busy industrial area still, but right on the left side you'd see Hudson Bikes and you'd see Henry's business. And we're here to talk a little bit about his journey from the Dominican Republic here to being a bike shop owner now, to being a brand owner of, you can see quite a bit of product. I think hats look terrible on me, but I'll put it on anyway. Montecci Bikes. Got a good hat. He's wearing the hat, so I'll let him represent. Sunglasses, shoes, of course, bikes, first and foremost. And we want to talk a lot about that stuff, his journey, the bike industry maybe a little bit, the Dominican Republic and its cycling community. So we got a lot to talk about. We'll try to keep it short. He's already warned me that he likes to talk, which I love. Henry Francisco, also Gustavo Henry Francisco, depending on who you're talking to probably. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You're from the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Start there maybe. How do you get into bikes?
I got into bike when I was a little kid. I was like around 8 years old, and I was looking for myself since I was a kid. And I grew up without my father, so all my childhood friends, they got a father figure to look for. Mm-hmm. I didn't, so one guy impressed me with a bike. I said, you know what, that's what I want to be, but I never thought what I was getting into.
Right.
You know, I started being like the leader of my neighborhood's gang because I used to go outside on the bike. I used to get out of my neighborhood on a bicycle, and I became very popular. And as a kid, we biked since I was 8 till when I was 17. I left the bike again. But from 8 to 17, I used to go everywhere in a bike, and I was a free guy.
Yeah.
Freedom was my main issue at the time.
And you just rode whatever bike you could find, or what kind of bike?
No, I had a bike. I have a little BMX bike that every year we paint and repair and replace the tires. You know, we had no money to replace the bike every year. So the new bike was the new paint on the old bike. Yeah.
So you learned how to paint a bike, how to maintain a bike pretty
we have to do that.
Yeah.
And to build bikes to my other friends.
Yeah. So you started working kind of as a mechanic at a really young age.
Yeah, I could say yes. I remember we had a flat tire.
Yeah.
Job didn't work out because we couldn't do it. We were kids, and people usually come back with a flat tire. You're not doing a good job. But as a kid, I still friends of all my childhood friends, and they all bike still. One, race, others just like ride bikes. Others went back to ride bikes.
That's awesome. So that community stayed together, and you really showed some entrepreneurial spirit from the beginning. You were like, I'm going to start my own business with this.
That was because my mom never had a 9 to 5.
Okay.
In my house, we used to sell ice creams, used clothing. Mm-hmm. My mom used to do this, we call it esquimalito. It's like a little icy.
Esquimalito. Okay.
Yeah, and we have to put the liquid on it and tie it and put them in the fridge. My mom never had a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
No. So I never see myself having a 9 to 5. Like corporate America would kill me.
Yeah. So you're your own man now. So you said 17 was kind of like you left bikes for a bit.
Left bike, I had too many pimples in my face. And I don't know, I didn't find myself like having fun.
Yeah.
So some of my friends that became cyclists, it wasn't fun anymore, it was like a job.
Right.
So there goes the freedom. Like, I fought to be a free person, and now I'm a slave for something that makes me free.
Yeah.
So it didn't make any sense for me at the time.
So all of this is in the Dominican Republic. Some of your friends went on to ride more seriously or even race. BMX, road bikes?
No, road bikes.
Road bikes.
One of them is like Melito. Melito he owns a bike shop in 106.
Okay.
We're friends since we were like 30 years old. He's a little older than me. Pollo.
Okay.
Cesar Marte's father was my childhood friend.
Okay, yeah. Cesar Marte is a prominent rider in the scene, local scene.
Pollo, those two guys, they did the crossovers,
Yeah.
and they did extremely well.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I stopped. I'm like, I can't do this.
So, how did you come back to it, and how did you end up here in this place, in this business, and all that? I feel like there's a lot of years of work and probably trying out different things and all that.
It was a process.
Yeah.
First, I used to be a corporate American guy. I worked for Budweiser for like 5 years of my life.
Okay.
I was in the beverage and tobacco industry for years.
Okay.
And then
this is all back at DR or
no, here when
Okay.
I got here.
Yeah.
And then I stopped working. I got depressed, I guess. Now that depression is more popular. I got depressed. I didn't have the desire to do what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I got lost. I tell people I have a midlife crisis where all I knew was to sell stuff, and now I don't want to do that. What the hell did I do? And I was lost for years. It wasn't 2 years or 3 years.
Right.
It took me like 8 years to get back in track.
Yeah.
And one day I was in the window of my house and I saw a guy in a bicycle in the cold. And I'm like, wait a minute, this guy could do this. So at the same week I was reading something that said, if you ever lost, go back to your first love. Whatever thing you have passion for, whatever thing you love when you were a kid, that's where you're gonna find yourself again. And it was right, because I found my passion again. Because that's the only thing men can change.
Yeah.
You can move anywhere. You can get married, change your career, your hobbies, anything but your passion. That's really me.
Yeah. So you jump back on the bike and rode bikes, or did you immediately go into business? No.
No. Not even. I bought a $120 bike.
Okay.
It was a Bianchi, a track bike.
Okay.
In a flea market, and I started from there. And then when I want to do the transition to a road bike, that's what I said. You know what? I should start a brand. Why not?
Wow. Okay.
Actually, why not? We don't have a brand of bikes.
Yeah.
Let me. But it was hard. It was hard because the first thing you get is the people who surround you tell you no, you're crazy.
Yeah.
It won't work.
Yeah.
They tell you no, and for me, when you tell me no, that feeds me.
You like that? Yeah.
It's not that I like it, but it's my fuel.
Yeah, it motivates you.
That's what gets me going. When people tell me, "Oh, you won't open this bike shop," or the bike brand won't do good, I want to hear that.
Right.
Because I can prove otherwise, and that motivates me to move forward.
So, how long ago was that at this point? I think Montecci has been around 10 years, more than that? Yeah.
Well, we started the brand in March 1st, 2009. But before that, it took me like a year in between yes, no, yeah.
Right.
You're crazy, don't do it, don't spend the money. I didn't have a job.
Right.
No, I didn't have a job, so I was relying on my sisters, friends lending me money to do something there.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Right. Yeah, that's a big project to take on.
Yeah. So the company I started with, they were new as well. And they agreed to do 10 frames.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even getting there, I would never get that idea because I don't have that entrepreneurial spirit, I think, and how did you even get that started? How did you find a factory or a company to make your frames?
Searching. I have my brother in DR. He has like a importing company. He told me try China.
Okay.
But if I'm you, I wouldn't do that. You're crazy. I'm like, and then he pushed me. You gotta do it. When he saw the first bike, he was like, "Is that what you're making?" I'm like, "Yes." But there was the key factor was one guy in New York. He works in Echelon. He's a mechanic.
Yeah. Echelon Bikes. Yeah.
Jorge. He knew about it. He didn't know me. He approached me and said, "Show me the bike." So I showed him the frame on it. He said, "I want one." He gave me the money.
Wow. Okay.
And I said, if someone that doesn't know me, doesn't know the brand, is willing to pay me to buy one, this is going to happen. We have our first client without launching the company. Yeah. And that's how we started. So then, opening a company, trademarks, so and learning how to import.
There's a lot of steps there involved, a lot of work.
Yeah, learning about EN inspections, insurances, all these things. What happens if something breaks? Then it gets serious.
Warranties,
People get expectation. You're doing a real company? Okay, let's see if you got it. And it's hard. But the hardest part is not making the bikes. The hardest part is making people close to you believe in what you do.
Mm-hmm.
For that to happen, people from far away need to believe in you.
Right.
And then they relate to it.
Yeah.
I know today someone sent me a picture of a bike in Argentina.
Okay.
He was proud, but that guy never bought anything from me.
Yeah.
And he's my friend. I don't tell my friends to buy anything from me. I want them to like them, but
He's like,
hard.
I saw your bike brand here.
Yeah, oh my God, I know the owner. And it's like, you know the owner, wow. So he's proud of that, but he would never engage himself or buying something from me because it's human nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're doing it because you're doing me a favor. And I don't want you to do me a favor. I want you to buy the bike because the quality of the bike.
Yeah.
You know, it took us 2 years to make the bike UCI.
Yeah, so I just saw that you have it UCI certified now, which is a process that the UCI basically puts its stamp, or really a sticker on it. You can put a sticker on the bike.
But
now.
the bike needs to meet some standards. You know, you need to send documentations. You need to sell a design that they can look at it and change. You know, it takes money and it takes time. But we have we rode already with Froome. The bike has been chased by Froome.
Okay.
Who will tell me this? You know, like Alaphilippe told me the other day, well, in 2019, that's a nice bike.
Yeah.
Contador praised the bike in 2018.
Now he started his own bike brand, but
we have Incap use a bike. 2015. We got pictures. We got Jose Rujano. He got a podium in the Giro. We got
Colombian, right?
No, he's from Venezuela.
Venezuela, okay. Yeah.
We have Claudio Chiapuzzi used a bike.
Yeah.
Floyd tried to buy one a couple of years ago.
Floyd Landis.
And a couple of professional guys have used or tried the bike.
Yeah.
And I never thought that. I never would think that someone we like. Darwin had a Puma bought me a bike the other day.
Okay. Yeah.
Just right there, you got 5 people who've been in won stages in Grand Tour.
Pro Peloton.
They use the bike of someone from the Caribbean that lives in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for the brand to happen, we need to get away from people close to us and get closer to people far away.
Right.
And whoever starts a project, they gotta start like that, because people close to you, the first thing that comes is discourage.
Right.
And for me, discourage is like, yes, give me more, because that's my fuel.
Or they expect a discount. It's good to have someone who you're not closely connected to vouch for your product, right? So yeah, and I see that you're supporting not a professional team, but a very ambitious amateur team with Butcher Box, or you have for the last years, and they won the USA Crit Series, the team scoring there, at least in 2019. So they're ambitious. They're riding your bikes. I think they have a good visibility too. They do a lot of good. They have a social media presence. They do a movie. I think I did for the last couple of years, like a documentary.
American Crits.
American Crits, right? That's right. Which I think got a lot of good attention. So they know, I think, what they're doing, and how's that experience been? So has it been a kind of one step along where you're like, okay, I'm assuming you're losing money sponsoring a team with bikes,
no, not at all. No.
Okay, how do you feel about that?
It's an investment.
It's an investment, yeah, right.
It's an investment. We were in June. We were in bicycle.
Okay.
In an article say how to corner bikes.
Right.
And the first picture they found of how to corner a bike was our bike.
What's your bike? Right.
That would cost me.
From US, it was USA Crits.
But that would cost me a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it's a nice story, because when they started, nobody wants to support a small team. And Ted approached me with Steven.
Mm-hmm.
And
those are kind of people who are directing the
team, yeah.
Team.
And the other Steve, and I said, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. And they told me, we want to paint the frame, so I bring you a roll and you paint it.
Yeah.
And that was back in 2017.
Yeah.
Nobody knew the team. Like whatever you see on Butcher Bots right now, it took 3 years to develop. And now they have a women team.
Mm-hmm.
They just won the national champ from New Zealand.
Okay, great. Awesome.
And they won many stages. It's the only team that can compete against the Williams right now. Mm-hmm. It's the only team out there.
And hopefully in 2021 they'll get to compete, right?
And we had Travieso for 3 years already.
Okay,
The contract was due this year, and he resigned with Cervelo.
Okay.
That he was with before me.
Uh-huh.
And it was great to have him winning a lot of races.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now we have presence in Panama. We just started selling in Costa Rica this week. Peru, the Peruvian national champion uses our bike.
Right.
We have the national champion of Nicaragua using our bikes. We have had the champion of Panama using our bike, the Dominican Republic champion using our bikes.
So you have, I think you've been able to build up or use a network that maybe you already had before, really to go into Central and South America, especially the Spanish-speaking countries. You seem to have been really able to market the bike, and also I think you mentioned off camera earlier that a lot of your business is going there too. That's working out for you pretty well.
It's working out.
Despite the fact that you're sitting here in New Jersey, New York City, and I think we all know. I think especially if you're in the road cycling community, the strong Dominican presence, the strong presence of riders from other countries, Mexico and all that, and from South America. I think Dominicans have a very strong presence here at least. But you've been able to make this brand an international success with the connections, or how has that worked out for you? Are you selling the New York City flair, or what are you doing?
It's work. You know, whenever I find an opportunity, I fly. 2017, they gave me an opportunity to do all the support cars of La Vuelta Táchira, which is one of the oldest and biggest races in South America. I mean,
which is
Vuelta Táchira is Venezuela. But it's in the border with Colombia.
Okay, yeah.
Very interesting. You know, we have to cross the bike.
It's out there. Yeah.
We have to cross the bike literally through a old bridge that is closed by the police.
For cars usually, but the bikes you go.
And I flew with 7 bikes over there.
Wow, yeah.
Just to put them in cars. I have to make like thousands of stickers for the cars.
Yeah.
And they met a lot of people, but that race attracts, just in one day, let's say the third stage brings 1.5 million people.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's
if
big.
you look at it, it's Táchira has, that's it. So there I met a lot of people. People were looking at the bike, you know, so making connection, talking to people, flying, you know, like I took a chance in Cuba.
Right.
You know, now we have a program for the Cuban riders that they don't have a lot of money to buy a huge expensive bikes. Panama is being amazing. The people for RPC, they give us full support.
Right.
There's other brands that want to come in. They say yes, but Montecci is not touchable because we bet on them and they really want it. And that's what people that we met either in Cuba and Venezuela. So now in Panama, I met people from Nicaragua, that people from EDA team, they bought the bike from us because we met in
So
Panama.
EDA is out of Panama? No, they're out of...
They're in Nicaragua, but the team is out of North Carolina.
North Carolina, right. I thought they had some American ties, right? That's... I forgot his first name, Travieso rode for a long time, right?
Yeah, Travieso rode for them.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. So I think we can see you have all these connections, and how much? What do you think? How much of your business is going to South America, Central America, the Caribbean, and how much of it is US?
It depends on the season. Like now, it's off season here.
Yeah.
100% is out there.
Wow.
Then when the season starts here, it shifts. So I need to keep a balance. If I have to rely my business in New York City only, I will die because right from now to September, whatever you sell has to be on credit.
Yeah.
So you start making money in March, but all the bikes that need to be sold in the season need to be made now.
Yeah.
If you don't make it now, so then you don't have a profit because it's cold.
Right.
So that's the hardest part of the business. So you need to have another area where you can sell bikes and make a profit too. Get ready for the season.
Yeah, so that market is really working out well for you because you have that versus I think a lot of, at least bike shops in New York City, right? They wait until, like you said, March or April, and then they start selling bikes because it's getting warm and people buy bikes, and then business kind of shuts down in November, right?
Yeah, I respect people who own bike shops in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have to keep their employees in the winter when they have no income. I mean, it goes for 100 to 5.
Yeah.
Like if you make, for example, $100 a day, now you make $5 a day.
Yeah.
But you still have the same amount of expenses. I respect a lot the people who runs bike shops in New York City. It's very tough.
Yeah.
It's very tough. It's a lot of respect for it.
You run one yourself, Hudson Bikes, like I said, and you've already kind of indicated that in a lot of ways it's a bike shop. You service bikes and it's right here so people can stop by and they can buy a tube or whatever they need to, especially when you go on NW. But the the prime focus that you have is really on Montecchi.
Oh yeah. I wish I could put that in Montecchi.
Yeah.
I wish, but I couldn't. The things that happened that didn't allow me to put it as Montecchi. So we said, you know what, Hudson Bikes. And the main thing was that when we started the company, I said, if we can get something in IW,
right,
that people see the name,
right,
that would be awesome. I remember dreaming about if I have 5 guys that are riding my bikes in IW, back like in 2009. And when I started this, it wasn't a bike shop. I was getting a trailer with our name and opening in the weekends just to feature the bikes.
Like in the other parking lot kind
of. In the other parking lot,
yeah.
The parking lot was flat. The parking lot used to be
okay.
floor. But the city didn't want to, and then the owner told me, you should look at this place. I'm like, I don't know, it's too small.
It's pretty small, yeah.
Yeah, that place was falling apart, it was small, stinky.
Yeah.
And when she found out it was for a bike shop, she said, this is what we're going to do. I fix it for you. You pay for the tear it down, and I give you half of the rent.
Okay.
I'm like, and even like that, I was thinking about it. That shop was opened by one of my best friends.
Okay.
When I told him about it, he was jumping. Henry, you crazy?
Yeah.
Get it right now. Call the owner. Get it right now. I said, no, I gotta go to Panama. I come next Monday. He told me, you come next Monday, somebody else is gonna take it.
Yeah. You think the location is?
Yeah, and I told him, you know what? If someone take it, it's not for me. And when I came back, he got the keys. And he opened another corporation for it. Here, open your thing. And the DBA would be Montecchi, but then we couldn't do it because what I explained to you.
Yeah. So it's Hudson Bikes. It's there, but you just told me you have plans with Montecchi for a new kind of showroom in New Jersey City.
Yeah,
right?
Jersey City. We're working right now.
So business is going well.
Business has always been well since day one.
Great.
It's like every business; it goes up and down.
Right.
You need to know where, when, how.
But 10 plus years is a long time for a fairly small bike brand that you started on your own. Like I think we see a lot of other kind of bike brands come and go, right? Because you have the competition of the major bike brands, obviously, and then it can be hard to build a brand that it stays successful for a long time, right?
Yeah, the thing is that it's easy to build bikes. It's easy, it's very easy.
Right
now you go to Alibaba and you can find millions of companies. When I give you bikes, you give them a color, you give them a name, and they will give it to you. That's an easy part.
Yeah. So like pretty much anybody else, this is happening in Taiwan or China, right?
Yeah, but how you make the people believe in it.
Right, you know, which is the big part of it, right? Because you hear that a lot. It's like, oh, this is just whatever, China bikes or China carbon or whatever. That's like the standard response, despite the fact that, again, like 90% of bikes are produced over there, right? So what do you do? But
it's not the same when you control what's going to be in the bike.
Yeah.
You know, whatever design we're doing, it's a group of people that sit down, and I'm part of it, and I'm proud. I'm like, wow, you know, because I'm the first guy who believed in that factory. So, so they have this appreciation with me. So what do you think, Henry? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Sometimes we fight. I don't like that, you know.
Well, it's a good process.
Doing the Bachelor took us 2 years fighting.
So that's like the top model right now, the Bachelor, right?
Yeah.
I think we just talked, everything's disc now, for better or worse, the industry has decided. You don't have a choice really either, right? So.
No, the thing is safer for the average cyclist. People still don't understand how many people were having accidents because the rim brake would overheat.
Yeah.
How many warranties the industry was getting back
because wheels were failing because of that.
And it's a physical thing. It's physics. You cannot change that.
Right.
You know, you have something against a spinning thing. It's a resistant. It gets heat.
Yeah.
You cannot change that.
No.
You know. So the only way to improve it was to disc brake.
Yeah.
And believe me, it's been awesome for us. We don't have to deal with those kind of warranty. You're not worried if someone was going down here, let's say Perkins, or here on River Road, and because the brake is overheated, the tire exploded.
Yeah.
You know,
I think especially for beginning riders, something even like River Road, which is parallel to 9W down here, it can be a little scary, and you're probably going to be on your brakes a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't blame anybody for doing that. And like you said, if you're on a rim brake, that can lead to failure if you're riding too much.
Professionals don't brake.
Right.
So, professional won the Tour de France without rim brake, without disc brake.
Right.
They don't brake.
Yeah.
You can see these guys going 60 miles an hour going downhill.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even hesitate to take a turn.
Right.
But me and you, we have a lot of things in our head to say,
family,
that's
whatever,
not
business,
something goes wrong there, the least that can happen is you break a quarter board.
Mm-hmm.
That's if you're lucky.
Right.
And people don't understand that. They think it's a matter of like fashion.
Right.
This brake came to stay.
It's for sure. There's no question. I think it's better braking, right? I think the argument often gets made. When you race in New York City, you probably don't need it, but for the average consumer, and I think for a lot of the people that buy bikes from you, it's a good thing to have.
For people who do Grand Fondos are very popular now, and there are some Grand Fondos that have this very sharp, fast downhills.
Mm-hmm.
That you got it.
Well, I think even Grand Fondo New York, if you're on there with a lot of people, I would prefer to have a disc brake. Yeah.
And you control how much you brake.
Right.
But people don't always see that, and the industry hasn't stopped and said, you know what, guys, we're all in this together, and this is what's going on. We need to go to disc brake.
Mm-hmm. So when you talk disc brakes, for example, and all that other stuff, do you feel like you have some ability, and you can decide, of course, what kind of bikes you build a little bit with the people making the bikes in the factory that over there, and you have a process for that, but do you feel like as a smaller brand, you're forced to follow big industry trends?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And sometimes we want to do things ahead of the industry, and for us it's harder because people think like we're crazy.
Yeah.
Like before, bikes, the seat stay used to be close to the clamp in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2014, 6 years ago, we started doing the seat stay under it.
Okay.
All the bikes now had it like that.
Yeah.
When we did it, that thing looks ugly.
Yeah, everybody has it.
If we take that bike from 2014 and do it now, it's a bike that is on fashion now.
Right.
But back then, because we were the one doing it.
Yeah.
If that thing was being done by Specialized, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
So we have no choice but to follow the trend, and that shows that we're on the same level and that we can do things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
So if they come with, right now we come in with something very, it's going to be a game changer. It will be amazing. We're going to have an affordable, mechanical 12-speed bike.
Wow, okay.
So affordable mechanical 12-speed.
Road bike?
A road bike.
Yeah.
But the calipers, they hydraulic, but they move by brakes, by cables.
By cables.
So the cable, we pull the pump on the caliper instead of the pump being in the shifter.
Yeah. You have to bring the bike. It's very hard for me to visualize, but that sounds fun.
I'll show it to you. It's going to be fun because what moves the liquid inside the hose is a pump.
Mm-hmm.
So that pump is in the shifter.
It's in the shifter itself.
It's in the shifter, so you need a hose to send that liquid into the caliper to push it. We put the pump in the caliper.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is now instead of a 700, 600 grams shifter, you have a 455 grams shifters. Instead of liquid, you have cables. Now you want to take your bike apart and put it back, you did it with a cable, now with fluid.
Yeah, which is a messy process, especially for the average person to service, right? It's really hard. Yeah. And that's one of my complaints usually when I talk about a lot of the innovations recently. Disc brakes, you talk about tubeless tires, you talk about, what's the other big one I was thinking of? Forgot now, but a lot of them they're better, right? They make in some ways the bike safer in some ways too, but they're also harder to service for the average consumer.
They are. Yeah. But I agree with the tubeless tires because it's not toxic. It's not.
DI2 was the other one. So electronic shifting is the other one I think of, right? Makes it harder to service for the average person, probably.
But when you see people like living inner tubes and night double, I feel like, wow, why you do that? This is what we ride. And we respect.
Oh, you mean like leaving this like that?
Yeah, leaving the garbage out there.
Yeah, no, that's not right. Yeah.
An inner tube is very toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Very toxic.
Right.
As a matter of fact, the United States doesn't charge any custom to that because they don't want that to be made here because of the pollution.
Wow, because making it with the rubber and everything is so
you can
dirty.
bring you only pay the tariff that is imposed to all.
Interesting. So not that you just
but the
make it really easy to import them.
Yeah, because so when you have a tubeless tire, we're talking about the environment.
So it's good for them.
Yeah, but what's the problem on it? You got a flat.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to fix it, now you're in trouble.
Yeah.
To get the tire out is a problem. The liquid is very like messy.
Yep. Yeah.
But I think, but in the long term, everything is gonna go to tubeless, electronic, and disc brakes.
Yeah.
So no cables exposed. Bikes look neat.
Which is great, right? Yeah.
But bikes are gonna change a lot from here in 10 years.
What do you think is the vision? What's gonna happen in 10 years?
Everything's gonna be integrated.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna have
everything's like kind of.
The crank is gonna come with the integrated with the frame.
Okay.
The fork.
It's like one piece, kind of.
Yeah, the fork and the handlebar is gonna be one piece.
Yeah, which we're already kind of seeing in the higher end models now.
Yeah. Well, you see that what Cervelo did, that everything integrated or factor.
Yeah.
That's just the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it has to be specialized on Trek to do it.
Yeah.
If they do it,
everybody
do it because they own the market.
Yeah. Is that frustrating sometimes?
No, it's what it is. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier for you because when they fail, they take a big hit. You know, some of these companies have failed on some stuff.
Yeah. So they're the first ones to go with a new innovation.
They take the risk.
They put a lot of money into it.
Follow. It's like when you have a stronger rider in the peloton.
Yeah.
You don't attack until he attacks. If he attacks, you get on the wheel.
Yeah.
He go let you, so you're the stronger one.
Yeah. I sit here. Yeah.
But if you attack, you're gonna drop you.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
The industry is like a bike race.
It's a good analogy. Okay. Yeah. You got to smart. You got to stay in the peloton.
You stay in the peloton.
You don't want to charge ahead too. Don't want to spend too much energy going.
Specialized attack. You look. Trek have to go and chase.
And you go with Trek. Yeah.
No, you get the wheel or Canada. Or Cornago, we take.
Yeah.
That's how it works. I cannot attack.
Yeah. You're not even the one to chase. You wait for a second, third bridge attempt. Yeah.
And then the other thing is that the bicycle has a market share.
Yeah.
And if you're starting a bike company and you're only thinking on one item, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Because the item goes like this, go like that. Goes like. Sometimes we don't sell a frame in weeks.
Yeah.
We're relying on shoes or sunglasses.
So you've expanded that. Shoes are new, sunglasses. You just showed me like you have all kinds of other like gear, like balaclava and all that kind of stuff.
Right now we're selling a lot of these jackets. We sold out all the time. They're gone one day, gone.
Yeah.
You know, we're not selling bikes.
It's a warm winter jacket. Yeah.
The folding bike
so folding bikes sell well. I saw you also have like kind of what do you call them? Hybrid commuter bikes. Yeah.
Fitness bike now is cold.
Like flat bars.
They won't sell now.
Right.
But once the sun comes out, that thing goes in one day. You can sell a container of these bikes. But you only rely on that bike.
Yeah. So there's a lot of talk now. 2020, bikes are selling out. So like supply chains are kind of problematic. Materials are running out. So how did you manage to get these like hybrid bikes done right now?
People who manufacture bikes, we're surviving. Everybody's worried about it because there is not resources to make bikes.
Right.
So now the shipping is triple the price.
Mm-hmm.
The make the bike takes longer. That means is that you got to take an amount of money, send it over there, and wait.
Even longer than usual.
Even longer. So that money is worth less.
Right.
Let's say if you have $100,000 to make bikes.
Yeah, you have to pay up front. You give that money away.
But let's say that money you borrow it because you don't want to use it.
Right. So
how much $100,000 costs?
Right.
For 6 months.
Yeah.
You got to add that.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have before you have to in a week you get a container. Now you need to book the container a month before and pay for it.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of stuff that are gonna change, and people think that people who are in the industry are getting rich. No, we just collect a lot of money in a period of time that we're gonna need in the future, and that we needed before because for everybody, it's not a secret that the industry was collapsing.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of companies that they couldn't survive and closed down.
Right.
New York City had 154 bike shops.
154.
It went down to less than 110, maybe 90. You know, from 2012 to the pandemic. The pandemic just came to save the sinking of the ship.
Also, but you think over the last 10 years it has gone down from 150 to like 100 or something
Yeah. Because even though there's more people buying bicycles
right now, especially.
These people, they don't go to the bike shop to buy bicycles. Bicycle shop are making money building the bikes for people who bought bikes online,
right?
Or make service and stuff like that. And for that, you only survive. You don't really make money.
Yeah.
This year, a lot of people made money. People who got old inventory made money.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, before that and after that,
yeah, this is the first time that bike shops are selling out of bikes, right? That never happened before. I think usually at the end of the year they're trying to have a sale and get rid of the old product because they have to buy new product again from their brands, which is a very tough model too, right?
I'm sorry, and how to forecast that? Now we don't know how to forecast. How many folding bikes am I going to sell this year? I don't know.
Yeah.
Now
because with COVID and the big selling, everything has been thrown off kind of in terms of your.
And you got people bringing new items into the market and new brands, and then you're like, should I make 1,000 or should I make 300?
Yeah.
Should I make 500 or 3,000?
And you don't know if maybe everybody has a bike now. It's not going to buy one for 5 years now, right?
All that you don't know.
Yeah.
That right now we like, what the hell are we going to do? The game changed in a week.
Yeah.
It only took a week to people to figure out that the best way to survive a crisis is a bike.
Mm-hmm.
But that hasn't been the first time. China survived a crisis with a bike. Mm-hmm. Cuba has something called the special period where they got no money to fuel, and they survived for 10 years
with bikes.
Yeah. And any crisis that you see coming, like we saw bikes in Puerto Rico because of hurricane.
Oh.
And people, the only way to move to the rulers of places were in bikes. So any crisis that happens in the planet,
you go back to bikes.
It's going to be survived by bikes, not in the cars, not in the public transportation.
You just got to be ready to sell that market. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's bad because the only way that people rely on bikes is when there's a crisis. The good thing is a lot of people discover bikes. They're going to keep on.
Yeah.
There's a huge amount of people that didn't know how awesome was the ride.
I think some of them will stay. I hope so. But like you said, it's hard for you as someone who's selling bikes to calculate how many are going to buy that bike this year.
We don't have data because it's the first time.
Because usually you can go, oh yeah, last year we sold that many, so maybe a few more we buy.
Of course, you go like I have 60 accounts. If they sell 3 or 4, I will cover them. But right now you don't know.
Yeah.
You have one bike shop telling you I buy everything you have.
So between that and sending huge amount of monies for bikes that you're going to get in months, can you sleep at night?
Oh yeah, I sleep well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've got used to the rhythm. You've gotten used to it.
I have a saying that says I need a few things in my life, and the few things I need in my life, I need it very little.
Okay. Yeah. So 2021 is going to be pretty challenging then, in some ways. How are you getting ready for it now?
Which is good. The challenge is good.
Yeah.
Because whatever's happening now is gonna tell us what's gonna be like in 2021. Now we don't know how many races are gonna be held. We don't know if this is gonna be over and it's good and it's gonna get worse. One thing I can tell you, there's not gonna be a lot of bikes available this year.
There's not gonna be a
lot of bicycles. Whoever rely on cheap bicycles like Target, Walmart, or bikes under $500 or road bikes under $1,200, forget about it. No, this really won't be. And the bikes are going to go up a lot.
Yeah.
The container used to cost $3,000, $2,500 to book. Now you got to get $5,500.
Yeah.
And now the bikes are more expensive because you got to buy parts in the black market.
Yeah.
And then you got to pay a 25% tariff plus 11 to 15% custom. So when you add all that, at least 75% more.
Wow. And then you have to offload some of that to the consumer.
You got to apply to the consumer.
Yeah.
Sometimes, what you do is you eat some of that, and the bike shop eats some of that to keep but again, it's us taking the heat.
Right. 75% is huge, yeah.
Yes, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. I mean, a container, it hits you. An item that can go from $10 to put in the container, just to put it in the container, to $35. It's a lot of money.
Wow. Yeah.
Because it's not $35. It's $35 times whatever buys it, right?
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of uncertainty there, and yet you said and I want to come back to that. We touched on it briefly, but you're planning to open a showroom in New Jersey, New York City. Yeah. So despite that, you feel optimistic.
Oh yeah, it's an opportunity. Someone that we believe in it years ago. It's like a payback. We have this place. The Specialized offer us to fill it up and track, and we decided to go with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And we're working on it right now. It's gonna take at least 2 more months to have it like ready.
Yeah.
But yes, we're working on it.
So it's a big kind of shop floor, or what is it like?
It's big.
Yeah.
It's big and tall. And
It's a bike shop?
It's the opposite. It's nothing right now. It's gonna be a service shop.
Yeah.
With a showroom.
So it's happening right now.
We're gonna feature it with other brands because we don't have all the brands.
Right.
But yes, it's gonna be mostly our showroom.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And we partnership with a New Jersey bike shop called Jersey City Bike Shop.
Jersey City Bike Shops. So it's gonna be in Jersey City.
It's gonna be Jersey City Bike Shop featuring Montecci.
Awesome. Yeah. So it sounds like you're pretty optimistic despite all that, despite the craziness. I want to come back to maybe another a lot of challenges, right? I noticed, I think it was in June or so, your bike shop got broken in, Hudson Bikes
three
times within a month or so. Again, there's a lot of challenges in addition to all that you've described. You have to deal with that too.
Yeah, the community was supportive.
Yeah.
I never expected that. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Community was supportive. I felt the support of a lot of people I never expected. There's a lot of people that know me that they never stop in the bike shop.
Right.
Never. They pass by, they never buy anything from the bike shop, and this kind of people that you expected, they came forward and said, no, we're gonna help this guy.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And insurance paid like 1/3 of what we lost.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guys got apprehended, but they got released.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's not gonna serve any time.
Right.
No. The prosecutor gave them like a program for 6 months. They only got to sign once a month.
Right.
And they free, so.
You're a bit frustrated with that.
Oh yeah, it's frustrated because if I do anything, they will chase me, and I really have to face.
Yeah.
These guys, they are professional criminals.
I think a lot of bike shops have been dealing with that, especially lately now that, like you said, demand for bikes has gone up, right? So in some ways, there's also been more bike theft. At least that's what I hear. That's what
no, it is. Right now, it's getting crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially people who deal with electric bikes.
Yeah.
The electric bikes are getting stolen like this.
Yeah.
People, because it's easy to sell, and I tell people don't buy anything stolen.
Yeah.
You're gonna be who's telling you you're not the next victim.
Yeah.
When you buy,
they sell on. You think they sell on Craigslist? They sell on where? On eBay? On anywhere?
In New York City for years, what they do is they rent one of these U-Haul.
Okay.
Boxes truck, and they go on a spree cutting bikes and put them in a truck, and they sell it in the south.
Okay.
They go deep south to sell it.
So they go far away from Europe.
Yeah. The other day, one of the guys that bought one of our bikes came in because some of these bikes didn't have the seat posts.
Mm.
Like Theodore's bike didn't have seat posts.
Wow. Okay.
The only seat post that fits that bike
is yours. Yeah. So they had to come here.
If someone bought those frames, they're gonna Google the brand and come here to buy it.
Right.
And we got an old man the other day, and he ran away because one of the guys told him, that bike is ours, you stole it, and the poor guy ran away.
Wow.
We found one of the bikes in it's funny, we found it in Jersey City.
These are all the bikes that got stolen.
Yeah. We found it in Jersey City.
So you've been able to find some of them.
Yeah, and we brought the bike, and they stole it again. The same bike.
How many did you lose?
Like $90,000.
Wow.
At least.
Yeah.
Plus people who don't come to the shop because it's that safe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now we got cameras, we got everything.
But what are you gonna do? Yeah.
Couldn't do anything.
Yeah. You can't be here all the time.
I can't sleep there.
And then people always say, "Oh, but you have insurance, so you gotta get the money back." It's not that easy, right?
No, it's not. Insurance give you a hard time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The insurance they sell you, they're there to help you. But when you do a claim, the claim is everything has to be really documented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because and I understand you can say you got stolen and nothing happens.
Right.
And when the police come and do the expertise and do all the paperwork, you have to be there. Everything has to be well documented. And the police department did a great job doing that.
Yeah.
Because when I needed documents, they had everything in writing, and that helped us a lot.
Yeah. Talk about the police department, the local one. I think you were sharing that story on Facebook or something like that, and you shared a video actually of someone crashing right here on the road because, and you said it's happening regularly because this is kind of a busy area where there are cars, and like I said, you just come off the bridge, you're ready to kind of go on your bike, or you have completed your ride coming back from IW,
coming back,
and you're coming down the hill. And there are a lot of kind of little side streets here, and it's getting busier, and people are used to it being less busy kind of up north, right? And you see crashes quite a bit. And the one that you had was car pulling out, wasn't looking, a guy riding probably 20, 30 miles an hour because you come down the hill, you're going fast. I do that.
But there's
every
no
time.
need for that. You're gonna brake within 100 meters.
That's how I see
to
that.
take the brake.
Yeah.
So why you
Don't
forget
take that.
Strava? Your life is more.
Yeah, no, it's right.
Do you know
yeah.
they used to have a section in the bridge?
Yeah, no.
Whoever would cross the bridge faster.
Oh,
They
really?
there
The
was
Strava segment?
a lot of
Yeah,
accidents.
that bridge is not a
They
good place
they
to
have
do
to
that.
take it down within a week.
Yeah.
There were people like flying in the bridge.
Yeah, that's
The
crazy.
same happens here.
Yeah,
If you pass strictly to the bridge, slow down.
yeah, strictly on
Let
the bike
the car
shop.
pass.
2 miles up. Yeah,
The car's gonna be faster than you. Don't
Yeah.
fight with the cars.
yeah,
Let the car see you because in 1 week we have like 12 accidents.
yeah.
3 of them were really bad. There was a
Yeah.
lady that she got knocked down. We have to apply for like resuscitation.
That's crazy. Okay.
Her face. She came within a week and she was in the hospital for like 4 days without waking up. It was scary.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
scary.
and like that, the other day we had a guy that ended up
Uh-huh.
here in the first turn after the chop
Yeah,
under a car because he wanted to pass the car and the car decided to turn.
yeah.
Guys, let the cars pass. It's gonna happen.
No, I'm with you. I think,
Sometimes have signs say slow down.
yeah,
Yeah, sometimes it's crazy. They have a club of expensive cars
yeah,
down the road,
uh-huh.
and when these people are here, they go really fast. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
There's the combination of factors that happens there is gonna be fatal for an accident. That could be one person, or it could be a group ride, but it's gonna happen
No, I agree with
if we
you.
don't slow down.
I think you're right. I think it's easy to blame. No, it's just the car going fast, but it's easy to blame the cars. But I think it's also the cyclists that need to say when
gonna
you
hit
reach, when you're off 9W or you're at strictly, the fast part of your ride is over, and you need
It's
to be
over.
careful, and
Yeah,
you're back
that's
in the
it.
city, and you
With
need
the
to
low
be
chain
safe.
ring, used to disc brake.
Yeah, but just brake right.
And slow down, make it home, people. We're very vulnerable.
Yeah,
A car hits you, anything can happen.
yeah, and I think you see it and you catch it on camera with your security
Ooh,
camera.
I'm trying to do like a
Yeah,
collage.
you would have a video now.
It's
Yeah,
a
the whole
lot
thing.
of it's a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them happens there, happens here.
You said you have a first aid kit now in the shop because of
It's
that.
gone.
Yeah.
We
use it.
got 3 gone this year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. We have to buy like 3 of them. I have it there because
That's crazy.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Especially in the summer, it's crazy.
Overall, like being on this busy route, do you feel like the community has discovered the shop and you have a good relationship with it? Do you feel like Strictly is getting more of the business, or the business is further up because you're right at the bridge? Is this the location? Is it working out the way you expected?
It's Strictly is Strictly. You gotta
Right.
respect. Strictly been
It's a
there.
big shop.
He's been serving, and he's
Long
been serving the
Uh-huh.
community for years.
Right.
Nelson has done an amazing job. We just had a little space for our bikes.
Mhm.
We cannot compare what we do with what they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 different kind of shops.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Like one thing that we discovered is that we serve the community here.
Mm-hmm.
People who have like the $200, $500 bikes.
Oh, so they come
cannot-
over here.
Yeah, they
after
can, no,
bikes.
extremely busy with super expensive bikes.
Right. Yes.
And we took
more
that
high-end
pressure away
market.
from them. We took that pressure away from them.
Of serving those kind of bike needs of the community
Yeah.
for like smaller repairs, smaller, less expensive bikes.
Oh
and all
yeah,
that.
and we're faster too because we don't have any storage.
Yeah.
So
You have to
we-
do it on the
If we
spot.
do- Can you wait half an hour? We do half an hour.
Okay.
And the other thing is we have less expenses, so we can bring better prices too. But
Mm-hmm.
we cannot compare with Strictly. We opened that shop because Strictly couldn't give us a space there,
Right.
and we wanted to be night W.
Right.
So that didn't happen. We said, you know what, we need a space at night W, and whatever we can get it, we're gonna have to jump into it. And that opportunity came. Some people see it like we are taking the territory of Strictly,
Mm.
when it is not. I wish people could be like, should I buy a Conago or Montecci? Should I buy a Specialized? I wish.
Yeah.
But that's not the reality.
No, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, it's 2 different business models, right? 2 different types of stores.
Some people have rolled me. Why do you open that shop?
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. People try to close me out 4 times.
Wow.
They call on me.
So that's pretty aggressive.
Oh.
You'd think the community would be welcoming to have another spot to stop and have some support. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people appreciate it.
Okay.
A lot
That's
of
mixed
people
feedback, though.
appreciate it. But other people didn't like it. I respect that. But calling like companies to close me down,
Wow.
or calling the fire department. Again, for me, that's like you feel me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crisis.
That's motivation for you.
I deal with that very well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I ride by now, and I have to say I've only stopped once before, and it's because I'm all the way down in southern Brooklyn. So by the time I get here, I'm like, all right, I need to get home. And by the time I get off the bridge, I'm like, all right, my ride starts, and then it's never quite. And I don't usually stop at strictly.
Well, sometimes I don't stop there. When
right.
I have a day off that I'm riding,
yeah,
I just pass by and go.
Yeah.
And I understand.
But I was to say the location is actually really convenient, and I think also every time I pass, it looks busy. You have a few tables out there. It always looks like there's some people chatting and having a good time. And
oh yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
we want to make it fun. It's fun. We never had this like come by something phase. You know?
Yeah.
You come here, you want to say hi, you can say hi. Some people have no money and they say just take it. You know, come back later, bring it. You know, we could, but we can do that because we don't have the expenses. We don't have like 10 employees to do that. We don't have that pressure.
Yeah.
And that gives us the advantage of being more friendly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have more flexibility that way too.
And not only that, we have an amazing restaurant next to us, Cuba.
Yeah, which we're sitting in right now.
The other day, this guy got like 14 pitchers of beer.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
You know, and it's a nice table.
So you have a good community feel here, really.
Sometimes we got live music.
Okay. Wow.
And the live music is between the shop and the restaurant. People like that. So, and the last 3 weeks of the summer, we were closing at 10.
Yeah.
We were having business after 8 p.m.
After 8 p.m.
Oh yeah, a lot of business.
Really?
So we stay open. So let's stay open.
That's great.
It was like a party.
That's awesome. So you're having a good time doing this too.
Oh yeah.
Like you have energy. You're not worn out yet or anything.
The day we don't have time and we sell it, close it.
Yeah.
Life is too short.
Yeah.
You can enclose yourself to something that might make you happy when you can find happiness somewhere else.
That's awesome.
You gotta move forward to whatever you're happy.
Those are pretty good closing words, but I think I want to ask a couple more questions. We're getting close to an hour. I know you can talk more. I know you can talk more. But one of the ones is they come from the Dominican Republic. That's I feel like at least in the road cycling scene, that the Dominicans have a pretty strong presence here. Do you feel the same way? Do you feel like the community here is representing the DR pretty well too, or is there a special connection between the New York City cycling community from the DR? I'm thinking of, you mentioned a lot of names already. Ishmael Collado is from there too, right? So I could list a lot of others. A lot of them are very fast. A lot of them are they're excellent bike riders. They maybe don't have the lobby. Some of it might be the language. Some of it might be just not the history and with the local US teams and all that. But I know Cesar Martin and Ishmael went to like some of the big crit series, like I think Deerlands or for the Genser Cup, and they get good results there. Do you feel proud about that? Is there a sense of community there, or do you feel closer to them in some ways because they are from there?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not for me to say, but if you ask any of them, I used to have 7 cyclists in my house from the DR that didn't know where to stay. Mm-hmm. I got them teams. Mm-hmm. Like I got Yuri's team, Rafael's team. When Ismael came into this country, we gave him a hand.
So Yuri Vidal, Rafael Moran, right?
Rafael is my son. He lives with me. Yeah. And Yuri lived with me. Cesar for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Juan Orlando Pimentel with me a little bit too. A lot of them live in my house. Yeah. Augusto Sanchez lives in my house. Yeah. It's a long list of guys that I have got. But I don't promote that. That's not for me to promote. Right. That's like it's my job to serve.
It's like an unofficial pipeline kind of you're part of.
Yeah. You know, and the thing is, these guys cannot make a living on cyclists.
Right.
But they give their lives to it.
They really do. I feel that. Yeah.
They invest everything in cycling, and cycling will not give them that back in the same proportion.
Is it an issue of them not having enough of a lobby coming from the DR? Is it an issue of a bit of talent too? It's hard that they're at a level where you're like, they could probably almost be, or they are at continental level, but like you said, you don't really make enough money with that, right?
But that's the reality of cycling.
Right.
It's not in DR. It happens to guys from Trinidad and Tobago are amazing riders. Colombians, you only know the few Colombians that make it. Yeah. But there's a lot of them that don't make it.
There's more and more making it now. So maybe there's a chance for cyclists from the DR.
The Equatorians is now, but the Equatorians have been fighting to get up there for years.
Yeah.
And the list goes on and on and on. Dominicans have for 2 years in a row the world champion of cyclocross.
Okay.
The world champion of cyclocross is Dominican.
The Dutch would claim her for them, but yes,
But she's Dominican.
She does actually.
She was
does,
born
I
in
think
Dominican
herself,
Republic.
No, I'm with you.
Her mom is Dominican.
Yeah. And she
got
herself,
the
I think she said she feels more Dominican than Dutch.
But people haven't stopped to study that.
So
you know what I tell you?
Carmen Reyes Alvarado.
Selena.
Yeah.
But Celine has the genes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, forget about what she grew up. She needs to have the genes.
Yeah.
And she has it. You know, it's genetics.
Yeah.
What tells you is that we have it, but we need some kind of resources too.
Yes, that's what I mean.
You know, because Holland has the resources to make someone with that genes a world champ.
Yeah.
We lack of the resources.
They have the National Association, they have the trainers, the coaches, they have the bikes, they have all that.
Look at Puerto Rico.
Travel.
Puerto Rico has a kid, Abner. You can.
Yeah, he just went pro, right?
Movie star.
Yeah.
And he was in a Dominican team a few months ago.
Okay.
He was in Inteja a few months ago.
Uh-huh.
So we have the genes, you know, but we don't have the resources to develop this talent that we have.
Right. And it's hard, I would imagine, to do that just in the DR, but I think it sounds like there is more attention now to that South American, Central American market. And maybe there is more and more chance. There are more and more chances.
But there are amazing races. Let me tell you.
Right.
South and Central America has better races than the United States.
Well, that's the thing. Like when you mentioned the one in Venezuela, very few, if anybody, has heard of that. I think more people now have heard of the Tour Colombia, which has different names, and there's huge amount of crowds there, right? Much more like. There's a lot more people on the side of the road than there are for like Tour of California or something.
Look,
like that,
Argentina.
Right?
You go to San Juan. San Juan has 7 continental teams.
Wow.
One town.
Mm-hmm.
San Juan is a little town in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Venezuela. Venezuela has a huge amount of cycling.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Táchira, and you go to Puerto Táchira, you're gonna see people that you never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Like millions of people watching the bike race.
Yeah.
Not even telling you about Colombia. Colombia is amazing, but Guatemala has the best.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, Guatemala! People ask cyclists for an autograph. Did anybody ask you for an autograph? They ask you. You just there. They ask you for. It's look for it.
Yeah.
Guadeloupe, the little island.
Yeah.
They call the little Tour de France.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard of that race.
Le Petit Tour de France.
Yeah.
You want to see the stage? You got to wake up at 6 in the morning and park your car in the middle of the hill to watch the cyclists.
To get there, yeah.
You know, what else? Maria Galante has amazing cycling.
Yeah.
Jamaica has track cycling that you don't know. Well, a lot of them are here.
Yeah.
They come from Jamaica.
Yeah.
You know, but we haven't found the way to make money of it because we don't have the vision as a professional.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't have a professional league in our countries. All these people do it because they love it.
Right.
But we never had the vision. How come we don't have a big tour in the East Coast?
Right.
We had it.
We did. We had
the
some
DuPont
races.
tour that
Right.
became the Trump.
Philadelphia had at least one race.
Philadelphia was one race, but all these teams were not from New York.
Right.
Berserker, we have a league, a professional league.
Yeah.
I bet you guys we have a team.
Yeah.
We have a team.
Yeah.
But in the East Coast, we only having this us be trying to be cyclists. We're just trying to be cyclists. We're not even close to that.
No, it's amateur.
We're
right?
just having fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I see
but
it.
what happened to guys like you said, like Collado?
Yeah.
You know, he's a young kid that want to make it, but he wishes he can make money.
Right.
As a baseball player, he makes money.
Yeah.
Let's say if Collado wins the series, like he has won the series.
Yeah.
He's not the face of any major brand.
Right.
In New York City.
Right.
He's not.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta make that happen. We gotta give these kids the opportunity of make money of what they do, or they can make get a scholarship,
right?
A grant on something, you know.
There needs to be some sort of program.
We have an amazing guys close to making it, and they have to quit because they say, you know what, Steves or Danny Steves was almost a professional, like this to be a professional. Sam. From Butcher Bots almost make it.
Yeah.
Connor.
Yeah.
Wilson was amazing. The Pineros were like the best representation we had in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Charlie, but we in the East Coast don't have a league. Mm-hmm. Like let's say like seriously create but local.
Right.
Because it costs money to close the streets. It
does. You know, everything's kind of expensive to host here. Yeah.
Yeah, and then how do you make that?
Yeah.
It's a big challenge, and when I started racing, we have Avon, we have like 5 or 4 promoters.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie's the last one. If Charlie stops,
CRCA, that's it.
CRCA, it's a club.
Yeah.
It's a local.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with some things they do. I agree with other, but that's another.
You don't have to agree with everything. I don't agree with everything either.
But as a promoter, it's only Charlie.
Yeah. There's Alex Koch now, who I'll hopefully
Alex is coming.
soon. He's starting, but he has realized, and I think I want to talk about how hard it is because
we needed Alex. We needed Alex when we were losing a lot of races. We needed people like Alex. Everybody want to race. Nobody want to take over and say, you know what, let's make a bike race.
It's hard. It's like building your brand, right? It's a lot of sweat and tears. It's sleepless nights. Yeah.
You get messages from Charlie at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like Charlie should be there at 2. And you're only going to have fun for an hour and a half. And this guy invests a lot of time. And still like that, people don't show appreciation.
Yeah, and that's on top of a job, family, and all that. So
and then people don't show appreciation.
Yeah.
They think it has to be perfect. Dude, come on. We're just having fun. You know?
So
that you won and come on.
Yeah.
You're not going to do anything with $80.
No, you're not. It feels nice, but it's not. It doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things.
At the end, you just have it's an ego thing.
Yeah, it is, and I think that's why we're out there partially, right? So you've already outlined a lot of things. You've talked about next year. Maybe final statement. What's in the future? New York City. What do we need to do better? You said from a racing perspective, maybe think of more racing or a more centralized, high-profile league. That's big plans, right? So maybe.
I think the big challenge of New York City is to, instead of being a cycling fragmented community, New York City should be one community.
That's how I feel. That's part of what I want to do with the show.
But it's fragmented. We could do so many things. Look, I partner with Bello, Bike Shop, and Scott Savory, and Misha, and we collected like 300 jerseys at like 150 bips to give away to pool kids.
Yeah. That went to the DR, right?
Yeah. We have a Recerca team in the DR.
Yeah, I saw
we have
had a bunch
team.
of jerseys.
We have a rock star racing team.
So you guys, I just explained, you guys collected used jerseys and kits and all that and equipment, and you send it basically over to the DR.
We sent it to Cuba, DR.
Oh, in several countries.
Yeah, one guy 2 years ago gave me 36 shoes to give away.
Wow, awesome.
He came here, give it away.
Yeah.
We sent it to Cuba, we sent it to Venezuela. Right now, most of that clothing went to Venezuela.
Okay. Yeah.
And now it's been delivered because the airport was closed.
Takes forever.
Yeah, and for us, a pedal bib is nothing there. A pedal bib is like they dream about.
Yeah, of course.
And there's so many things we can do here as a one community instead of be fighting that you're from Recerca, I'm from Foundation, you're from another team. When all this is nonsense. This is just an excuse to embrace ourselves.
Yeah. What's next for Montecci? Big plans? In 10 years, where do you see the brand?
I don't know.
It's still going to be here in 10 years, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
More bikes?
I'll tell you something. I don't tell everyone.
Mountain bike? Are there different types of bikes, or what do you dream of? Or what do you want to see?
June, we were close to sign with a team that is going to be in the Tour de France. That is in the Tour de France.
Okay.
We almost got a team that has a tour. I cannot say the name, but we were close to have one of the most winners of the Tour de France. In a team with our bike, like this. It was about one meeting. That meeting would be enough for the other brand. It would be us.
Okay.
So we want to be a big brand. We want to be up there. We want people to. We want to earn the respect of people. You know. So a lot of people don't respect the brand. I understand that. You know, but
locally, internationally, or
mostly locally.
There's a lot of skepticism.
A lot. Most of it.
Yeah.
90% of the skepticism comes from people from this community.
Yeah.
And you can look at it. I know people that rather buy a Cinarello than a Montecci.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So online somewhere.
Yeah. You see, like, this guy bought a fake bike. Wow. No, and that tells me, like, you're not going to ride, or it's the nature of life. You know, people, they're close to you. You know. They'd rather be in a fake bike than in a real bike from someone who's trying to make it.
I was talking to Alessandro Montecci, and he has one of your bikes, and he was quite happy with it. He said it was a really good crit bike. Yeah, La Única. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Bright yellow paint job.
He told me that can be La Única. I'm like, I keep my word. don't worry. I would not make the bike to nobody else. He loved it, but he really loved it.
Yeah, and he's critical.
Alessandro is a critical, good rider and good racer, very competitive.
Experience.
And he told me, Henry, I'm gonna test it. He tested without brakes.
Yeah.
If I don't like it, I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah.
And when he wrote back to me, he was impressed. His friend Robert bought me 2 more bikes.
Right.
He's in love with it. He said, Henry, I used bikes before, and this bike is amazing. It's an amazing bike. And I tell people, come by the shop, try one. You don't have to buy it. But at least you can tell other people when they talk bad about the brand, look, I tested it, and it's a good brand. Instead of spreading a news that you don't know about.
Right. So hopefully more respect locally and continued growth internationally, locally for the brand.
We're gonna go, and we're gonna earn a lot of stuff. We have made a lot of big things, with a few resources, a lot of big things, but we haven't had the capitalization of these things.
Right.
Sometimes people not even know. People don't know we won the USA Crits championship, and whoever knows don't care.
Right.
So they win it in another bike. So we won 3 years in a row at the Panama race. We won 3 years in a row the Dominican biggest race.
So the results are there.
The results are there.
Maybe you need to convince people more still for some reason, but yeah.
No, I don't believe. I think I just keep working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to go out there and try and convince people. Time always is the last straw. Time will tell people if the bike is good or not. But that will happen with someone bigger. Come and say probably right. Look, I use that bike. The bike is amazing.
Yeah. So on that, good luck to Montecci. 2021 and beyond.
Thank you for the interview.
Thank you for hosting us. We're using professional camera equipment today too, so I'm expecting big things. And thank you for the hat too. I'll put it on to end the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.